In the realm of survival, where the boundaries of resilience and adaptability are tested, lies an extraordinary tale that defies all expectations. Imagine a creature, stripped of a vital organ, its essence severed, yet defying the odds to continue its struggle for existence. This is a story of headless resilience, where the indomitable spirit of survival triumphs over the most daunting of challenges. Whether it be a headless snake slithering its way through the unknown, a headless cockroach navigating the darkness, or a headless chicken defying the laws of nature, their determination echoes through the annals of nature's greatest enigmas. Brace yourself for a journey that delves into the extraordinary lives of these headless warriors, unveiling the astonishing secrets behind their unexpected survival. Number 1. Mike the Headless Chicken. Mike the Headless Chicken, also known as Miracle Mike, was a famous chicken that lived in Fruita, Colorado, in the 1940 seconds. On September 10, 1945, Lloyd Olson, a farmer, was attempting to slaughter Mike for dinner. However, after Lloyd's axe missed the chicken's jugular vein, Mike was left without a head but still alive. To the surprise of everyone, Mike continued to live despite the decapitation. His brainstem, which controls basic functions like breathing and heart rate, was left intact. Although he couldn't eat or drink, Mike could walk around and even attempted to peck for food using his neck stump. Lloyd decided to keep Mike alive and began feeding him with an eyedropper, providing water and small grains of food directly into his throat. News of the headless chicken spread quickly, and Mike became a local sensation. He was featured in newspapers and even went on tour, making appearances at sideshows and carnivals. Mike the Headless Chicken survived for 18 months after his decapitation. Sadly, he died on March 17, 1947, while on tour in Phoenix, Arizona. His death was attributed to choking on a piece of food that had lodged in his throat. Mike's incredible survival story and longevity without a head have fascinated people over the years and turned him into a symbol of resilience and survival against the odds. Number 2. Cockroach without a head. A cockroach without a head is indeed a fascinating topic. Cockroaches are known for their ability to survive under various circumstances, and their resilience is particularly evident in this situation. When a cockroach loses its head, it does not die immediately. This is because cockroaches have an open circulatory system, meaning they do not rely on their heads to control blood flow or oxygen supply. Instead, they have tiny tubes called tracheae that transport air directly to their tissues, allowing them to breathe without a head. In the absence of a head, a cockroach will eventually die due to a combination of factors. Firstly, without a mouth and feeding apparatus, it cannot eat or drink, leading to dehydration and starvation. Secondly, the lack of a brain means the cockroach cannot coordinate its movements or respond to its environment effectively. It will likely stumble around in random directions, unable to navigate or find shelter. However, even in this compromised state, a headless cockroach can exhibit surprising survival behaviors. Their nervous system extends throughout their body, and they have ganglia, or nerve clusters, located in various segments. These ganglia can still coordinate reflexive responses, allowing the cockroach to exhibit basic movements such as walking or grooming. Additionally, a headless cockroach can continue to exhibit a stress response. If you were to touch its body or threaten it, it would likely react by scurrying away, despite the lack of a central command center. Overall, while a cockroach can survive for a short period without its head, its survival prospects are severely limited, and it will eventually succumb to the inability to eat, drink, or navigate effectively. Number 3. Headless snake. A headless snake refers to a snake that has been decapitated or has lost its head. When a snake's head is removed, the snake's body can continue to move and display reflexive behavior for a short period of time. This is because snakes, like many reptiles, have a decentralized nervous system that allows some level of independent function in their body segments. After decapitation, the snake's body may writhe, coil, and even bite reflexively due to residual electrical activity in the nerves and muscles. These movements are involuntary and do not involve conscious thought or intent on the snake's part. However, it's important to note that a decapitated snake cannot survive for long without its head because it needs the brain and other vital organs located in the head to function. It's worth mentioning that harming or killing animals, including snakes, is generally discouraged and often illegal in many jurisdictions. It's important to treat all living creatures with respect and seek humane and ethical ways to interact with them. Number 4. Headless flies survival. The concept of survival for headless flies is intriguing and somewhat morbid. Flies, like many insects, have a decentralized nervous system with ganglia nerve clusters distributed throughout their bodies. While the brain is the central processing unit, controlling most of their sensory and motor functions, some basic reflexes and movements can still occur even without a head. When a fly loses its head, it loses its ability to process information, exhibit complex behaviors, and carry out essential functions necessary for survival. However, certain reflexes can persist for a brief period after decapitation. These reflexes are mediated by the ganglia present in the fly's thorax and abdomen. The most well-known reflex is called the GAP reflex, ganglionic amplification of post-decapitation. It causes the fly's wings to beat, allowing it to fly for a short time before eventually succumbing to its injuries or lack of essential bodily functions. Without a head, a fly cannot eat or drink, as its mouthparts are necessary for feeding. It also loses its ability to see, hear, and perceive its environment accurately. Over time, the lack of food and water, coupled with the inability to navigate and respond to threats, would inevitably lead to the fly's demise. While some reflexive movements may be observed in headless flies, they cannot survive for extended periods. Ultimately, the headless fly's lifespan would be drastically shortened, and it would be unable to sustain itself without the vital functions carried out by its brain and sensory organs.